Speedrunning, the act of completing something as fast as you possibly can. Many have spent thousands to tens of thousands of hours just to see themselves on a leaderboard, and I have always wanted to be on the leaderboard, but I don't have the perseverance for that. So rather than being the fastest one, why not be the only one? This is the Paladins speedrun. Paladin speedrun is simple. I have to win with all 59 champions. It doesn't matter if I lose a round, that's just time lost, and I have to do this all in one sitting.
Let's go!
So the most important characters are the first and the last characters in the run. The first character, what I thought was going to be my worst character, was Yak.
Yep, get bored. Easy.
And my best character is Save for Last. But seeing as I don't know how long this will take, it's important to get the characters that I don't know very well out of the way. So I went with Willow, and then I go with Kazu, which for a character that doesn't have to aim, I'm not very good at. But that's later me's problem. I wanted to win, so I went with Corvus. But their Koga did not like that. Dude, what? That's crazy. I went with Octavia. Dude. No thanks to me. And this is when I ran into probably the best Yak I've ever played with, which was super nice. Because I ran into them again, and luckily, they were good enough to carry my costume. Together we were the dream team, and I re-queued, hoping I'd run into them again. But that's the thing about betrayal. It never comes from your enemy.
I love you!
After playing against the Yag, I went with Ruckus. I played my first of many of Strix. Wait, this is actually so cringe. Wait, never mind. I just gotta get Bomb King out of the way. I don't know how to play Bomb King, nor do I ever care to learn him. But look at this play. I stopped Ash's dash with my movement. Boop her into my stun. Stun her. She gets ulted by Saren. Incredible. I win with Pip, win with Term. Then after losing some games, yup. No. Oh. I decide to go back to IO. Well, I got him. And after IO, we win with Lilith. But the game had known that I had won too many games, so I had a loss streak that lasted for an hour. Okay. So I started using characters I was more familiar with, which was going to become a problem later, having done 11 characters, but I needed wins now. Yes! Yes! Yeah! The Victor win and a very well-deserved Nyx win.
Let's go. Let's go. That is a whole lot of nothing.
The snowball had started.
Best decisions I ever made.
Woo! Yeah!
Holy. I cannot hit a singular shot.
Yeah. And with this this, I'm ready to start playing tank.
It's wrong. Like,
Some other tank.
let's get Azan out of the way.
And it was around this time where the effects of playing Paladins for this long had started to kick in.
Dear diary. I hate to break it to you, but
What the Sigma?
I did a whole lot of nothing. Can I win with strikes yet?
No. That's a lovely, lovely voice.
Well.
25.
Alright, I'm going fatty.
So it turns out Betty's skill ceiling is actually really high, which someone kindly pointed out. Here I was just thinking I could hold left click and get kills, but apparently I couldn't. Get out of my head, Bang Man. Get out of my head.
15 seconds remaining.
Alright, Ray, you're out of retirement.
And with my Ray game, I ran into a sniper main who didn't understand that I couldn't heal if I was dead.
Objection! No.
But that can't stop my Ray.
Whatever, I'm just...
But unfortunately, it can stop my Makoa. Having run into him 2 times in a row, I figured I'd run into him again. So I took a gamble by playing a character that I was gonna save for later. My second best flank.
With this treasure, I summon
I hope I run into him, dude.
exactly as planned.
I'm going. Dude, we already have a Ceres that's AFK.
It is even funnier the second time.
I honestly should have started with all the tanks because the tanks kinda get bullied.
That was awesome.
And sometimes they're the bullies. This Strix game would have been such a time saver if we won, but at the very last second, this Vatu touched and they brought it all the way back from a 3-1 game.
Your light flickers.
Dude, what am I doing?
Oh, perfect. A tank.
Well, third time's the charm. Dude. Dude.
Fight back! Fight back! Fight back!
Please die. Thank you. Finally. You're weird for that, you know? I can't even blame him. I think it's time for Grover. Well,
With all these losses in a row, I wanted to play one of the characters I was best at. But unfortunately, not all games are winnable.
A few moments later.
With this, I went with Shaolin and Koga. Somehow. And with these wins, I'm ready to play some Furia. With 3 wins in a row, I decided to test my luck and play Rom, because that couldn't go bad, right?
It's this one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing that got me tripping. It is this one thing you so made me feeling. It's this one thing you did. It's this one thing that caught me slipping. It's this one thing I want to admit.
Customize your champion.
It's this one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing that got me
frustrated, I decide to play Leon to finally get a win. But our team wants a support, and who am I to not be a team player? But that's when I learned one of the oldest lessons of all.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
Alice.
So let's get a win. That win was a mental break, which allowed me to start winning even more games. Even one of the dreaded characters, Strix.
Well, that's terrifying.
I'm Mr. Body Catcher, Slaughter Gang Soul Snatcher. Ain't no regular F-150, this a fucking rapper. No capper, street nigga, not a rapper. Chopper hit him and he turned into a booty clapper. Smith & Wesson, a 4L gang reppin'.
But don't worry for the 3 Strix fans, because there's more Strix later. But for now, I want to play some Flings.
Worth it.
And listen, I promise my Zin is good, but after 20 hours of playing, there's not a singular brain cell in my brain. So it's time to play some supports, but I had learned my lesson.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better.
Corvus.
I am better!
And with 2 wins in a row, surely I could win with Rom, right?
This one thing that got me tripping. Is this one thing that got me tripping? It is this one thing.
And after that, I win with Androxus. Yippee! And get 2 AFKs twice in a row.
24 hours.
But eventually you have to start winning again, right? Yes. I win with Zin, win with Eevee, win with Amani,
Dragon go burn!
win with Buck,
I'm in danger.
It's all coming together. I'm the captain now.
Let's go.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
Oh no.
Enemy spotted.
I'm going to... Get this shit off me!
Yeah, boy.
And as I played Strix for like the 5th time, little did I know this was going to be the last time I lost. I go Genos, get a dub, and then I go Strix for one final time. But this time it's different. Everything is hitting. It's just making sense. Despite having played for 26 hours, my reactions and everything felt instant. By playing for this long, everything clicked. All of it. Positioning, the map, aim, all of it just makes sense. What once was such a struggle was now something that I knew completely. It was as if I had opened my eyes for the first time and truly understood the game. I had reached my peak. I understood everything. I understood it all. Everyone I played with was nothing compared to me. I understood what it took to be the best, what it was to be the best. It had been 58 champions in 29 hours, and with the accomplishment of getting a world record on my mind, it leaves one last character.
As the speedrun comes to a close, Gus knew it was almost time to be done, but he could not do that without winning his Mave. Thus the team asked Gus, are you the best because you're Gus? Or are you Gus because you're the best? For Gus used domain expansion, midnight, and the curse technique, cat burglar, the team questioned Gus, can you still win in one game? Gus replied, if I didn't have a tank, I might have a little trouble. But would you lose? Nah, I'd win.
Fuck me 'cause they want my cutty. Ready, I'm smoking dope like a kick. Cutty, I'm French bitch, now I'm ready. Got rich, yeah. In my bed, be sad. Be so much bitch.
And finally, it was over. I officially had the fastest Paladin speedrun, an accomplishment that quite literally no one else in the world had. And in my brief spot as the world's #1, all I had to say was,
I'm going to bed.